Welcome back to our tutorial. In this tutorial, I will teach you how to display our article after we clicked our article card. In this page, we will display the title of this article, we will display our create date and our HTML format of our contents. So let's get started. Before start our coding, we need to understand there are two ways to view our article. In the previous lesson, we have done to print out our article card. The article card contains all the information we have. After we pass the information from our article card to the view article page, and our article page can print out our article. But however, some people will use the external view, which is enter the URL directly from our search engine or the Google Chrome. So our system need to handle the path from the user input. And that's why we need to handle those two cases in our view article.js. So I will teach you how to handle these two situations by one-to-one. Okay, to display our HTML format in our React app, so we need to install another node package called html-react-parser. This package can allow to output our HTML content in our website. So after we receive the data from a database, which is a HTML format, and we print the HTML format in our React app. First, we need to install this package. So we go to our terminal and type npm install html-react-parser and wait for installation. When you go back to your IDE, as we can see, firstly, we see this line of code. In the original content in the previous tutorial, after we clicked this card image and card title, we're going to jump to another page, which is an article / our article ID page. But you can see in this article page, which is the view article, there's nothing here. So before that, we need to pass out this article object to our view article page. Otherwise, this view article.js cannot display our article information. So we modify of this code. We first go to the same directory, but we need to also pass the article value to the view article. So we added the code from a JavaScript object. In here, we can edit the path name. The path name is the same of the original path. However, we need to add more field called state. This state is the same of passing the state to a component. So in this situation, we are going to pass the state to this page, which is the view article page. After we can pass the state to the view article.js, we can receive the props here and going to display and print out our article. So we added state. The name of the state is article, and we put props.data, which is the information for this article. We do the same thing with this link object. We copy from the previous and paste from here. After we save here and go to our code, and we start going to edit this view article. So to know that whether we do it correctly, we can type console.log and print out our props to see whether we can receive the post in these view articles. Okay, we go back to our web page. We first open our console, press F12 to open our console and first print out the console statement. And we are going to press the image or click our title and go to the view article page. Let's see whether we have received the profs. Okay, we go to the view article page. However, we didn't receive the profs. So we go to the code again to check out what we are missing. We get back to our code, and to receive the profs, we need to add a high order component in our code, which is a withRouter component in our withRouter DOM. So we first import withRouter from withRouter DOM. Since withRouter is an high order component, we need to route a content of our view article component. So our view article component can use our router state. So we get back to our code. After we refresh it, you can see our view article.js has pinned out our state. In an article, we open this location and extend the state, and you can see our article information is in here. So the next step we are going to do is using this information to print out our layout of this view article. We will now print out our state received to this view article.js. We first import the parser from our HTML react-parser package. And then we're going to create a state we call article. The article state is going to store the state we pass it to this component. So we create component the amount, which means after our random method is finished, we go back to execute this method. So why we use component the amount? It is because we need to handle two cases. The first case is we pass the state to view article.js. The second state is going to handle the URL bar. So we need to receive our URL and do the right things. So we type if this dot profs dot location dot state is not undefined. So we need to also add the type of, because we're checking the type whether this is undefined. If the state is undefined, which means this is direct from our URL. Otherwise, which means our state have received the article informations. So we need to also check if this .profs.location.state has the own property called article. So this just in case, and check whether we have received the state called article. If we check the state is article, so we set the state article into this .profs.location.state.article, which means we pass our state to the local state article. So after the function is executed, we will receive our state in the local state here. And then we also create a new state called is loaded, which is default is false. Okay, so after we have received the state and we use the callback method to set the state is loaded to true. So why we need to use is loaded this state? Oh, sorry, we need to add comma here. So it is because is loaded, it's going to check that our article is loaded. In some cases, because our state is too large, and this component may not fully load our state into the local state. If the state doesn't have the attributes, and we're going to print out in the random method, and our system will give us an error. So we need to make sure our article is completely loaded in a local state, and therefore we need to print out the local state here. So we add is loaded in our code. So we go back to the random method. So firstly, we can check this .state is loaded. If this is loaded, and we returned our article. Otherwise, we can return it is loading. It's waiting for the state or reloading for fetching our article from our database. So after this is loaded, and we can print out our article. So we have import our package pricer in our code. So we can just put price and type this .state.article.content with the curly braces because this is JavaScript. Oops. In here. So after we save and go back to our Google Chrome, okay, we back to our home page and we create it for our article card, and you can see our content is printed out here. So this content is from our article card, and we pass the state from my article card to this page, which is our view article page, and we print out the state in here. So the next step, we're going to do the view article.js for each layout. Okay, we first delete the original code here, and we import the container from our React strap. So we import our container component from our React strap. Okay, and then we're going to add a div here. We assign the classes, which is a article. So we open this view article.module.css. So we added this article here. We add some margins of it, and we're going to add the image container, which is used to display our features image later. So we have going to add image container, and we import our image with the classes of image. So in image tag, we need to add the src, which is this .state.article.features image. So we will do it later, and we also add the alternative tag, which is the same of our article title. Okay, so we add another div below here. We call it is article information. So the article information, we're going to store our article title, our create date, and our tag later. So in here, we can add a heading one with the classes called title, and we can add another div with a classes called date. So we go back to our CSS. First add our image container which is width of 100% with position relative and the text aligned to center. We add the class of image. We add the opacity of 0.7, border radius to 3 pixels, object fit into none, and the max height of 600 pixels and the width of 100%. And also is a title. Title, we want our font weight to lighter, and we also want to add the text shadow. So we add text shadow into -1 pixel, -1 pixel, 0 and 212121. So, and we copy it because we have 4 directions. So we can add the space here with 4 parameters. We add the comma for spread it out, and we added it to 1, -1, -1, 1, and 1, 1 here. And last but not least, we need to add our article information and date. So we add positioned, which is absolute, and top of 30%, and left 50%, and transform to translate -50%. So what is the result is we put the article information, the div is in the center of the image. So we put the image on the top of our article card information, and we're going to put our title in the center of the image. And last but not least, we add our date, and we add the text align to center, font size to 15 pixel, font weight to bold, and we hold the color is E8, 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 and E8. So also we need to add our article main, which is our main content of an article. So we add the div here, and we also assign the class, which is the article main. So in here we add our press statement here, and this .state article content, just like we did before. And the next step, we also add this statement to the heading, which is this .state .article .title, and the date we want to use the timestamp to string from our article card. Here we have did a function called timestamp to string, and we want to copy it in our real article. Okay, so in here we can just copy this date to create a new function, the timestamp to string, and we modify it to our arrow function. Okay, so in here we execute our this timestamp to string, and we put our seconds, the timestamp seconds, in this function, because we have an attribute called last modified, and we have the attribute called seconds. We put the seconds in this function and we will return the string for it. Yes, we also need to create the article main classes in our module CSS. So we add the padding for it, which is 14 pixel with margin left to 0, width to 100%, and add some text align to left. So we go back to Google Chrome to see what happened next. Okay, we go back to our article. As you can see, because we didn't set our image, so everything is going on the top. So we go back to my blog and type another article. You can see since our image is not inside our article, so our article is not printed as we expected. So in the next tutorial, I will teach you how to handle another method for the article view, which means when the user enter the URL bar on the Google Chrome, we receive an article object from our database and load it on the view article page. Also, in the later tutorial, I will teach you how to edit our article. We also need to add the features image in our article page, and after we have added our features image, and we can load our article much fancy. Clipversity is a self-learning platform with knowledge-based recommendation systems, providing a personalized learning experience for the self-learner and the school students. People could share their knowledge and exchange for the rewards. We are doing the next generation learning tools for the next generation of learners.